In the latest sport news, the legendary Lotus name has just withdrawn from Formula One. This marks the end of an era for this much-loved motor racing icon. And that's it for today's...
Today's big news, the iconic Lotus name returns to Formula One. With only 5 months to build a competitive car, the race is on to see if the new team can live up to the triumphs of this racing legend.
14th of September, the first 4 people started work at Hingham with 5 months to go. The factory was sort of bare and empty and very much a sort of relic from the past. It had been built in sort of the late 1980s. Although the facilities were reasonably good, you know, to make facilities work, you need people in them. So we turned up, and Sylvie, bless her, you know, went and sat behind the phone and became reception, HR, marketing, PR. You know, it's a true story that Keith sort of looked at me and said, well, what the hell are we going to do? And I said, well, I think the bottom line is I'll design it, Keith, you make it, and Craigie, you do the rest. But we had the opportunity to make something from nothing, because as you sat there, you realise, well, in modern Formula One, no one's really done it in these time scales. No one believes we can do it.
You know, when I first went to Hingham, there was 4 people and a Le Mans car, so it didn't look very promising. I was a little bit nervous. There is enormous pride in the Lotus name, and it's enormous responsibility in taking it forward.
The first time I went to Hingham, it was honestly, Mike was doing his best to convince me, but it was under construction. The office there was people working and putting the walls and cutting the walls and putting the floor on and putting the tiles on. The race bay was empty. There was just 3 old, the historic Lotus cars. Honestly, for me, felt for a second I thought, this is a long way to go.
I had a very unusual interview with Mike. It was very funny, and at the end of the interview, Mike just said to me, "You've got 2 questions you need to answer. One is, when can you start? And the other one is, I'm not going to take no for an answer." So that was pretty much it. Went home and told my wife we're moving to Norfolk.
This time last year, I had a phone call on Sunday morning. "Mr. Spencer, what are you doing? Get your ass up here. Be prepared to start immediately." So I did, straight away. The following day, packed a bag, came up. Seemed as though I never went home for another few weeks after that.
Mike is someone who basically pushes everyone to the limit. He wants to deliver, he wants things done, not tomorrow, not today, but yesterday. So
you don't ever want to let Mr. Gascoigne down.
This is our first mock-up engine that we powering our car to hopefully some degree of glory. In the weeks to come, we shall have a mock-up chassis on the table here. I think over the next month or 2, people won't see daylight. They'll come in here in the dark and go home in the dark, if they actually get home at all. It's probably an impossible task, but we've got to achieve it.
Chris here's putting the radiator ducts on. The fuel system should be here tomorrow.
It looks good. Everybody's flat out. You know, it's better than I expected at this stage.
We've got 4,000 drawn parts that go onto the car. A couple of hours' time it'll be firing up, and that will be the end of one journey and the start of another.
We're on the home run now, and that's the first new Lotus Cosworth that's fired up for 27 years. So that's a big milestone.
Everybody's getting a little bit anxious now because time's running out fast.
When we go to the Shakedown, of course, that's when the action really starts. That's when we first get to see just how good a job we've done, and then that's the springboard for the rest of the season.
It's amazing that within such a short span of time we could actually build something. I can't describe how it felt.
As a team, we are a big family. I think it is a way that Tony and the shareholders really want to motivate the team.
All those feelings of the old team and carrying out that legacy has always been there. Now, with the ownership with Team Lotus, we are able to do so. And we'll probably be able to give the stature that the team so deserves.
Lotus is probably second only to Ferrari in terms of myth in Formula One.
It's very cool to be part of the great drivers. It's a list that has got a lot of Formula One world champions, a lot of legendary names. To become as successful as some of those guys would be fantastic. And that's got to be the goal for our team and for myself.
And we all embarked on this journey together, and they've performed admirably, and that's why I said it is a fairy tale. The fact that we can put a car together in 5 months is really unbelievable.
First race for Lotus was special because obviously Lotus was back in Formula One after 16 years, and there were great expectations from everyone. We had a lot of, and we still have a lot of support from everywhere around the world, and we were happy because we finished with both cars. That was unexpected to finish with both cars at the first race.
It was euphoric. I think each and every one of us were jumping for joy at the gate, and people must be wondering. They didn't finish in front, but yet they were jumping.
We celebrated as if we won the championship with champagne and everything else.
To be there, knowing what everyone had gone through, and those 4 or 5 months, and all of the efforts and all of the worry and all of the care and the late nights and the sweat and all of those things, and to actually see us achieve that goal, that first goal, and to roll out of the garage was absolutely fantastic.
With the announcements we're now making, the acquiring of the rights of Team Lotus and the fact that we can enter as Team Lotus from next year onwards, it really brings our future in our own hands. But also in announcing Renault as our engine partner, a partnership with Red Bull for the gearbox. You know, we're looking at developing our own wind tunnel on the site at Hingham. We're expanding Team AirAsia, our GP2 team. All of these things are showing a real vision for the future, and I think it's showing everyone where we're going.
During a race distance, so much can happen, but we managed it. Really. So not only the team performed, the car performed, the drivers performed, the equipment performed, everything performed, right? So we had the engine fire up, we had a shakedown, we had a car launch, we had the tests, we had a race, bang, and we were there. And we're still here.
My vision for Team Lotus is for them to be world champions in 4 years' time. I mean, we've actually sat down, actually strategized over the next 4 years what we want to achieve and what we're going to do.
Next year it's about being a Formula One team, racing with the established teams.
There is a lot of potential in the team because there are a lot of experienced people.
I would easily say we should be finishing top 10 in every race.
The team knows they got to deliver a good car and a quick car, and this is the most important thing for a driver, because I mean, all I really care is to get a quick car so I can drive flat out and get the results for the team.
Key areas of the company are now filled by people, really big hitters at the top of their game. And I think it really bodes well for the future, not just next year. We can all settle into the next 2, 3, 4, 10 years and face it. I think we're going to be a very, very strong player as a team in the very, very near future.
As a Lotus team, we have exceeded our expectation. We achieved more than expected. But obviously that's not enough, especially for Lotus, because Lotus is not back for being just one of the teams, but Lotus is back for being the team.
Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for the moral support, the kind words. We will do you proud. We will work and leave no stone unturned in bringing Lotus right to the front of the pack.